everybody, we are back with chapter 9, the last chapter of Jeannie B. Jones Smells Something Fishy. She had just looked in her freezer. They were looking for orange juice, remember? And they had just looked in the freezer, and what did Jeannie B. find? Do you remember? She found a fish. So chapter 9 is called My Proudest Honor. So let's see what she does about Pet Day. Pet Day in room 9 was very exciting. There were cages with furry animals and bowls with fish. Plus also there was a snake and a hermit crab and a rooster. That rooster is mine, said that meanie Jim I hate. He will peck your head off if I tell him to. He will peck it right into a nub. I made a sick face because a nub does not sound pleasant. Just then Lucille skipped over to me. Look, Junie B, look at my darling riding outfit. See my darling riding hat and see my darling riding pants. And look, Junie B, here is a picture of my darling pony. And look at my darling riding boots. They are genuine rawhide cowhide. I smiled, very admiring. You are a beaut, Lucille, I said. Grace pulled on my arm. Junie B, come see Slicky. He's my goldfish. Remember, I bought him a brand new bowl. Come see it, come see it. Just then, my teacher clapped her loud hands together. Boys and girls, everyone needs to sit down right now. What an exciting day we're going to have in room 9 today. We hurried up and sat. Mrs. pointed to the pet table in the back of the room. Who would like to go first? She asked. Who would like to introduce us to their pet? Me! I shouted, me! Then I springed right out of my seat. But Mrs. said, sit down to me, and she called on crybaby William, because that guy never springs, that's why. William went to the pet table. He pointed to his bullfrog named Wendell. I just got him on Saturday, said William, very shy. Mrs. smiled. Well, he certainly is a handsome bullfrog, she said. Would you like to take Wendell out of his tank for us, William? Would you like to show the children how to hold a bullfrog? Then William's face got whitish and sickish, and he started sweating a real lot, and that's how come Mrs. had to put a wet towel on his head, and she said he didn't have to hold Wendell. Charlotte went next. She showed us her bunny named Slippers. She carried him all around the room, and then she let us pet his head. Slippers smelled like stinky feet. After Charlotte came Polly Allen Puffer. He showed us his parrot named Pirate Pete. Only too bad for Pirate Pete because he kept on saying a bad word and he wouldn't even stop. And so Mrs. had to send Pirate Pete to the office. After that, lots of children showed pictures of their dogs and cats. Plus, Jamal Hall showed us his lizard named Gizzard, and a boy named Ham showed us his hamster named Elvis. Finally, I raised my hand real calm. It's nice to see you being so polite, Jeannie B. Would you like to go next? Mrs. asked. Did you bring a picture of your dog? I shook my head. No, I said, because I didn't want to bring a picture, remember? I wanted to bring a real actual pet. Only too bad for me, because Mother had said no raccoon, and then my Grandma Miller sold Sparkle, plus also I lost my noodle, and then we couldn't find the orange juice, and that's how come my grandpa moved the frozen vegetables, and boom, I saw a pet there. So I put him in my backpack, and here he is now. After that, I quick unzipped my zipper pocket, and I held up my pet for everyone to see. Fish Stick, I said, really delighted. I named him Fish Stick because he's a fish stick, of course. Room 9 stared and stared. Then all of a sudden, everyone laughed at once. You goony bird, yelled that meanie Jim. Fish sticks aren't pets. Fish sticks are dinner. I felt very shrinking inside. But fish sticks have to be pets, right, Mrs. Wright? I asked, because fish sticks are pets, aren't they? And fish are pets, right? Mrs. was hiding behind her hands. She peeked at me between her fingers. Yes, sure. Of course, fish are pets, she said. I felt a teeny bit better. So then fish sticks can be pets too, right? I said. Mrs. hid a little while longer. Then finally she took a big breath and she got up from her desk. Well, let's see. Maybe we should see what the dictionary has to say about this, she said. After that, she took out her dictionary and she looked up the word pet. She read us what it said. Pet, she said, any tamed animal that is kept as a companion. Okay, she said, now that we have the definition, let's see if fish stick fits the bill. She looked at me. Jeannie B, is fish stick tame or is he wild? Tame, I said. Fish stick is very, very tame. He won't even peck your head into a nub. Okay, good, said Mrs. And would you say that Fish Stick is a good companion, Jeannie B? Can you take him lots of places, and does he behave himself pretty well? Yes, I said. Fish Stick can even go more places than my dog, probably, because I can put Fish Stick right in my backpack and he doesn't even say a peep. Mrs. smiled real happy and she walked to my table and she shaked my hand. Well, then, congratulations, she said. According to the dictionary, Fish Stick is definitely a pet. After that, she took Fish Stick out of my hand and she carried him to the pet table. And guess what? She put him right next to Slicky. Grace, hey, Grace, now our fishes can be friends just like us, I said, real delighted. Just then I heard a croaking noise. It came from Wendell the bullfrog, I think. Then Wendell croaked even louder, and that made Slicky the goldfish jump in his water, and that made the rooster cockadoodle, and that made Slippers thump his loud foot, and then his cage door accidentally came open and he hopped right off the table. Oh no, yelled room 9. Oh no, no, no. And then all of us chased Slippers all over the place, and he hopped until Mrs. caught him in the trash can. It was the excitingest adventure room 9 had ever seen. And that's not even the best part of pet day, because at the end of school, Mrs. gave out special ribbons to all the pets. And the rooster got the screechiest, and Pirate Pete got the talkiest, and Slicky got the bubbliest, and Slippers got most rascaliest rabbit, and Fish Stick got most well behaved. I did a gasp at that wonderful thing. Then I shaked and shaked Mrs. hand. Thank you, Mrs. Thank you, 'cause this is the proudest honor could ever have imagined. Mrs. laughed. She said me and Fish Stick made her day. Then she gave me a hug, and that is called a perfect ending. And that is the end of Junie B. Jones Smells Something